Hey everyone, so today I'm finally going to show you how I fill in my brows, but today I'm going to use some Lancôme products. They just released a palette for brows that looks like this, and it's called Le Regard Pro, and you have 3 eyebrow colors, and you have a highlighter. You also have a brush with 2 ends, and you also have a good tweezer in there. You actually saw my camera in the reflection, but you have, let me just, oops, see, you have a tweezer in there that you can just put in here. Really good like product to have in your purse. I was actually really surprised with the tweezer. It's really good. The only thing is I'm not a big fan of skinny tweezers because you have like a hard time pressing on them, but they're actually really good. They're cut just to perfection. But next, let's move on to the actual brow. Now this has been requested so many times, and I'm going to use this palette over here. So I'm going to show you that right now. Right now I don't have anything, as you can see. I'm pretty blessed because I have like full-on thick brows. I went through the chola phase maybe like 4 years ago, but now they kind of grew back quite thick, but there's some like sparse areas that I like to fill in, so let's get into it. So the colors that I'm going to use are the 2 colors over here. You have a medium brown that's also good for redheads because it's a little bit warm, and I'm going to use this charcoal brown right over here. So I basically mix the 2, but I start with the lighter color, and after I go right underneath over here, and I just brush that color right in my brows. And after I go right on top, and just create just a little line. I really like my brows to look very shaped, especially over here. Not necessarily in the front over here because I'm lucky and I don't want it to look like a box. But underneath here and on top over here, I like a very straight line. So now I'm mixing the 2 colors because I'm doing my tail, and my tail is usually more defined. So I'm just filling in like that. This is an angle brush from Lauren Luke. This is usually an eyeliner brush, but I like it because it's not too hard and it's not too soft. It just gives me the right density and the right application. And of course I always use my spoolie because it brushes off the excess. And usually when I do makeup videos, I always extend my tail over here. And those eyeshadows, usually I use the Omega eyeshadow from MAC. But these eyeshadows, they kind of like run really smoothly onto the skin. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe because they're created for brows. But sometimes the Omega eyeshadow from MAC tend to be a little bit chalky. And after what I do once it's filled in, I just take the brush. I don't take any more color, but I just brush it into the beginning of the brow, and I brush upwards. And once again, when I do videos, I like a very crisp brow. So what I do is I take a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand. I take actually a big liner brush, and I go right underneath the brow and just kind of cut the brow so it cleans up the messes. And of course I blend down the concealer, and I also go a little bit above, just a little bit like that. Nothing too drastic. And then I take my finger and I blend. I don't cut all the way over here because it tends to look really fake. So what I do is I just bring it, I leave maybe like 1/5 of the brow free of any color, and then I just blend it towards the beginning of the brow. Now another step that's a must for me, I never leave the house at least with this, it is a brow gel. Now Lancôme just released the Hypnose brow gel, right over here, as you can see, and it's the brow shaper. And I really like it. It's really cute because it's a itsy bitsy spoolie. So I basically just run that through my brows. If it can focus, please focus. Thank you. So I just usually I brush my hair up, just like so, all the way, everywhere. And I like to brush my hair in the opposite direction in the beginning over here, so it's kind of sparse. But that's just my personal preference. I like my brows to look a little bit messy at the beginning over here, so it's kind of more natural. I've always liked that. Don't know why, don't ask me, but just something that I prefer. So I brush up, and then in the end, I just brush down a little bit on the tail. And this brow gel, I'm actually surprised, because usually I've been using a brow gel that sets quite hard and crispy, but this one is more on the softer side, and when you touch your brow after, it feels really, really like silky, but it leaves the brow intact, like the way you want it to be. So usually I go in and apply 2 coats, just because I have really harsh, thick brows, and I like the hairs to stay in place. Now I almost forgot another thing that you might want to do. Let me zoom in while I talk to you about it. Is in the brow palette, there's a highlighter right over here, the lightest color. So what I like to do, of course, once I filled in my brows, is take that highlighter and just go right underneath. And it's a matte highlighter, so it's very, very natural. There's no shimmerness to it. So as you can see, I love it because it blends right into the skin. So it's just gonna frame those brow once again. And if you don't like the concealer trick that I do, just use, you know, this highlighter that comes in the palette. That's gonna frame your brows perfectly. So there we have it. The 2 brows are filled in. So I absolutely love this brow palette from Lancôme. It is called Le Regard Pro. And of course, don't forget about the brow gel. You need to tame those brow. I surely need to for those puppies over here. Remember, brows are sisters and not twins, or what I like to say is they're brothers, because I've never seen girls with hairy brows like that. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.